Okay, it's going.
Okay. All right, so day 3 of training. Most important to get reps to call PDI, to get meeting attendance, to create sales culture, to create an accountability culture. That's day 3. That sets all this up. Now, if you want to run a great day 3, you got to be set up ready to go the night before. If you're setting up everything day 3, invariably you're going to have sales reps coming in, you're around getting everything set up. It's just Bush League. You know, you're not being the best leader you can be in that case. So you want to make sure everything's set up, ready to go, reps come in, and then you can start digging in with them one-on-one. For example, Harris, okay, hey, let's go ahead and we're going to get your electronic contract filled out, Harris. Also, though, let's check out your schedule, okay? Bring up your white book to me. Let's check this out. All right, Harris, so hey, you did a good job. You got 9 set up. Are all of them married? Is there anybody here that's not a middle-aged, middle-income married person, doesn't fit that over 30 criteria MAC? Nope, everybody's good? Not one exception? Okay, great. Now, hey, Harris, tonight you have a couple openings. You have 1 opening tonight. You have a couple tomorrow, right? Hey, here in a little bit, we're going to give you a chance to set up some more appointments. Did you have some people you didn't reach last night? Yep, okay, great. So we'll give you a chance. Then I meet with Joe Rep. Hey, Joe Rep. Out of all these people, is there anybody that's not married, that's not a MAC? There are? Okay, who's not married, not a MAC so far? Okay, you have 1 Saturday, okay. You have 2 more Sunday, okay, you have 1 Monday, okay. Now you notice I didn't react like, what? You have people not MACs? How many? Because then they'll be like, 1, 2, you know, I'm like, okay, no problem. So let's go through who's not a MAC. Who doesn't fit the criteria? How many do you have? Okay, 1 tonight. Okay, a couple more tomorrow. Okay, who are they? Okay, great. Okay. Now, out of those 4 people, who's the best? Who do you think's most likely to buy? Okay, the 1 tomorrow evening at 7. Okay, great. Okay, here's what we're going to do then. Do you remember yesterday I covered the importance of seeing the right clients? Right? You repeat that. Do you remember yesterday I covered that you can have 1 exception? Okay, here's what we're going to do then. I want you to call back those other 3 and let them know. Just say, hey, I had something come up at that time. I apologize. I'll call you next week and reschedule, okay? Okay, great. Now, the reason that's important, Joe Rep, is do you remember that I said that you can have 1 exception now, but later after you get some more experience, you can get them. Okay, great. Now, guys, if you don't tell them how to call them, they're not going to feel comfortable doing that. So you want them to feel comfortable. You want to maybe mention, hey, the customers won't mind at all. They'll be kind of glad. Don't worry about it. Plus, you can call them next week and reschedule. You don't want the rep ticked at you either, even though you set the right expectation. Then you want to also let the rep know, hey, in a little bit, we'll make some calls. And were there married people you didn't reach last night? Okay, great. Well, in a little bit, we'll call them and give you a chance to reschedule those 3 appointments. Okay, now, let's go back to the meeting with Harris. Harris said, okay, everybody's max. Okay. Who's your first client tonight? Okay, the Smiths. That's at 5 o'clock, right? Okay, good. And then you have a couple more tonight. You have some more tomorrow. You have 9 total. Hey, who do you think your first sale is going to be with? I like asking that to see if they say the Smiths, their first appointment or not. That tells you if the rep is thinking the right way. By the way, they may not totally believe it, but as long as they're thinking it, that's cool, right? Now, I like to then ask, hey, you know, what do they do for a living? Do they cook very often? Okay, do you think they'd be interested more in a larger set, a medium set, a smaller set, a customized set? Okay, cool. Whatever they say, it's like, okay, no problem. And by the way, guys, if they say they cook a lot, but they say maybe a small set, I might say, okay, no problem at all. That's cool. Maybe a smaller set. Now, you mentioned they do some cooking, though, right? Okay. Do you think the homemaker wouldn't be a good set for them? Or a signature or complete? You know, let's just say a homemaker, Joey. Do you think a homemaker wouldn't be good for them? Well, I don't know. I don't know if they can swing it or, you know. Okay, hey, no problem at all. You know, the great thing about it is you can let them decide. Hey, remember, though, we can do it over 5 months with no interest. It's like a trip to the grocery store, though, just so you know. Right? That's how I would handle that if they said they cook a lot, but yet they still said small set. Now, if they said they don't cook a lot and they said a small set, I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, you may be right. Maybe a smaller set. You said they don't cook very much. Hey, by the way, Joey, A great set for somebody who doesn't cook a lot is the Galley. That's like the perfect set for somebody who doesn't cook very much. Because they have an option to still get 6 table knives. We took out the melon knife in the carving set, but they still get that chef knife to dice up stuff. Because if they don't cook a lot, they probably do some salads and some fruits and veggies. See, I like to teach the reps that. If they don't cook a lot, they probably do some salads and some fruits and veggies. So they really need that chef knife. All right? Who do you think your second sales with? Oh, cool. Do you know what they do? Okay, hey, they sound good as well. And then, guys, I look at how many demos they have between Saturday and Sunday. If they have 4 demos lined up and that's all they can do, I might say, hey, wouldn't it be great to get your first few sales out of the way by Sunday night? If they have 6 demos lined up and they have a few more openings, I'll be like, hey, how cool would it be to get 8 or 9 appointments in, make your first several sales, and get your first promotion out of the way? Wouldn't that be awesome to get that out of the way by Sunday night? And then I read their body language. If they're like, yeah, dude, I'm on it. That's going to happen. All right, cool. Hey, you might, who knows, you might go for your second one if they're a real confident person. Sometimes you say that, though, and you read their body language, and maybe they're not that confident of a person, and they're like, yeah, that'd be cool. We'll see. And I'm like, yeah, hey, Joey, keep in mind that if you do 8 or 9 appointments and you have 5 orders, even if the average order is only 200, that's still your first promotion. So it depends on the rep if I really push that, like, hey, yeah, dude, you might even get your second one. Or if I say, hey, no problem, keep in mind that if you do the appointments, even if you only make a couple $100 sales on average, if you get 5 of those, that's your first promotion. So it depends on the rep how you do that. So you got to kind of, when you're talking to them, kind of read their reaction of do they really think they're going to hit that first promotion that weekend or not, if they have several appointments. All right? Then I always like to promote guys. And by the way, we haven't even really got to 9 o'clock yet. We haven't even really started training. But those one-on-ones before day 3, that's where you set the sales expectations. You get them in the right mindset. You also set the expectations of phone jamming and setting up more appointments. You always promote, hey, did you have some people you didn't reach last night? Awesome. Hey, we'll give you a chance to set up some demos here in a little bit. All right, so you set that up. And then, of course, you make sure they see the right people. All right? So anyway, so you do all that. I like to go ahead and issue their kit. Another thing, guys, it says in your leader's guide, who do you think might be your first homemaker? I love asking that. I love to look for phone jam openings for Saturday or Sunday evening and putting that in the schedule to book up Monday through Wednesday demos. So this is all stuff, guys, that you can do before day 3 even gets rolling. And boom, that you just, it's like making a big snowball, right? You're getting that thing okay, now we're going down the hill. And then day 3 is just momentum, tempo. By the way, something I did mention, guys, I did not mention this. How do you greet them when they come in for day 3? There's got to be some music going. There's got to be like, hey, Joe, what's up, man? Dude, you ready for a great day of training? Man, you ready to have your first grand day? All right, man, it's going to be an awesome day. Right? Or, hey, what's up? What's up? Jennifer, what's going on? Well, I'm tired. Tired? You're too young to be tired. What do you mean you're tired? This is graduation day. You can't. Here, go back outside the door. Let's try it again. Go step right there. Okay, you ready? Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? All good? You doing good? Awesome. It's going to be a great day. I never let somebody say, oh, I'm tired and let it go. That's not the way we're starting day 3 of training. So I'll do it kind of joking, kind of half kidding. By the way, don't do it like a jerk. Right? Do it kind of half joking, half kidding, but you still make the point. Go back to the parking lot and walk up here now.
Throw this away.
But do you guys see what I'm saying? You want to get the tone set that, hey man, this is graduation day. Sometimes I'll joke, hey, you ready for graduation day? Hey, you ready to write up your first few orders? You ready? If it's raining, I'm like, man, isn't it awesome? Everybody's gonna be home. If it's sunny, isn't it a beautiful day to get rolling? All right, it doesn't matter. All right, okay. Then basically from 9:20 to 9:35, you put kits together, you cut the pennies. Again, the sequence can change. I'm not overly worried about that, but I like to get that out of the way. Now, one of the big reasons I like to get that out of the way is because I forgot to teach people how to cut pennies before if I was running late in training. So I like to teach it right at the beginning. The other thing is, sometimes it can be a little bit neg, so you get that out of the way. Like if that, oh, I can't cut a penny, all that. By the way, when you teach them how to cut the penny, right? Stand up. Teach them to cut a third of the penny off. Not through the middle, that's a little thicker, that's a little harder to cut. Teach them that they may need to use two hands. Make sure you're talking about being very careful and you're looking at the group. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get your fingers out of there. Whoa. Right? Somebody loses the end of a finger, that's not a real positive way to start training on. Right? I teach them how to open the shears fairly wide, but they still have enough leverage. I talk about the key is just to get it started, right? Just to make a dent. You got to squeeze as hard as you can, and at the same time, your thumb is on the outer edge of that penny and you bend it down. And I bend it down extra hard and show them the mark on my thumb. I'm like, see that mark? That's how hard I'm getting it bent down. Once you get it bent, then you can move the penny back a fraction of an inch, and then you can do it two hands. And teach them how to use their body and leverage and straighten that arm out and use this part of their hand and just, all right? And by the way, it's all how you set it up. I'm like, hey guys, we're going to teach you how to cut the penny. Now this isn't going to be easy. We're cutting a penny. This isn't like butter. But I don't want to hear anybody saying, I can't. No wimps. Nobody's saying that. I've never had somebody that I've trained that couldn't end up cutting a penny. By the way, it gets a lot easier as you do it. But I'm going to teach you how to do it, and we're going to have everybody go through at least 2 pennies. And by the way, if it's hard at first, that's okay. You're still cutting through a penny. You might say, man, if I'm struggling, is that going to be very impressive? Yeah, you're still cutting a penny. They're going to be impressed. So let's learn how to do it. Then I teach them how to do it. Then I teach them once it gets bent a little bit, they can use 2 hands, put it on the cutting board. I always cover with them, do not use their table. Right? And usually they laugh, haha, that's stupid, of course we wouldn't. But usually there's one person in every group, and you don't know who it is, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Right? Meaning they would have used their table. Scratch right across there. Okay. All right. And then I teach them to slow down and point down at the end, right? Okay. Okay. So that's pretty simple. Then I like to do the income talk. And I like to show them their first few checks. All right? So we always use the board for this. And I say, hey guys, let's wake you up a little bit. Let's talk about how much money you're going to make. So let's assume it's the 3rd week of May. 3rd week of May. Hey guys, it's the 3rd week of May. It's May 20th. Most of you are going to school around August 20th. There's about 13 weeks before school starts. So let's just use a 12-week example. Okay, we're going to use a 12-week example. Say there's a week you're at the beach or whatever. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know what.
It's all right, maybe there's somebody in there.
Rats in there.
Maybe a person in there. All right, so let's use a 12-week example. Okay, guys? I'm going to do a full-time income example and a part-time. So I'm going to do both. All right, so full-time. Oh, by the way, I like to ask them, so about, let's look at full-time, about how many appointments a week would be full-time? How many would you guys say? Sometimes you have somebody say 40, and I'm like, well, that'd be like 40 hours, but an appointment takes, if you're doing it right, you're spacing them at least an hour and a half apart right now, right? So you're spacing them an hour and a half apart, plus a little travel time and phone time. 25, 30, yeah, probably around 25 or so. Let's just say 20. So let's do a full-time example. Let's look at 20 appointments a week. By the way, guys, that may sound easy. That's not. If you complete a good 20 appointments a week, you're doing a good job. Because what this means is you probably have about 25 appointments scheduled. You have about 25 set to complete 20. Right? Okay. Now, part-time then, if full-time's like 20, part-time would be what? Yeah, like 10. Exactly. Which means you probably have about 12 or 13 scheduled. Because sometimes a couple are going to fall through. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's say you do 20 appointments. Now, guys, I think you're probably above average. Most representatives we launch out of our training seminar here in the Raleigh Pilot, they get above average results. But let's just say you're only average. Okay? We're just going to say you're average. So, an average person out of every 10 appointments would make how many sales? 6, exactly. And what's our average order size? 250, right? Okay. So, out of 20 appointments, how many sales would that be? 12, exactly. 12 orders. Does everybody see where we get that? 6 out of 10, 12 out of 20? Okay. So it's 12 sales. The average sale is 250. When you do that math, does anybody know what that equals? Exactly, 3,000. So it's 3,000 a week. If you are average, that's how much you will sell per week if you do 20 appointments. Now, again, completing 20 appointments, guys, see, here's what I want you to get. Completing 20 appointments is not that hard. But to complete 20 appointments every single week for the next 12 weeks, that's what's hard. Because I know some of you are like, Larry, I already got 15 appointments booked up. How hard's that? Doing 20 appointments in a week's not that big a deal. But to do it every week, that's a big deal. All right? So let's look at this and say you were committed. You were ready to work hard and do it. What would happen? 20 appointments. That equals 3,000. 3,000. Hey, Cam, what up? 3,000 over the next 12 weeks. 3,000 over the next 12 weeks is 36,000 in sales. That's how much you would sell. Now, if you do that, let me cover how much income you'd make. Okay? The income would be, let's see here. That right there would equal, you'd make 5,000 off your first 20 grand. Then you'd make 40% to 25, that's 2. 45% would be another 2250, so that's 4250 plus 3 would be 5250. So that right there would equal 5250. Wait a second. It would be 5,000 plus 2 is 12. Plus 2 is 7,000. Plus 2250 is 9,250. So that right there, guys, would equal exactly $12,250 in income in the next 13 weeks, 12 that you actually work. So I need somebody with a calculator, phone, real quick, do me a favor. Divide 12,250 divided by 12.
1,022.
Okay, so that equals, let's just say it's $1,022 per week in income. So I'm telling you right now, if you are that disciplined to work that hard and you're just average, you'll make 12 grand over the next 13 weeks as a college student, most of you. Legally, $1,000 a week average. Now, here's what I want you to understand. At the end of the summer, July and August, your paychecks will be a lot bigger than 1,000. Your first few paychecks would not be 1,000. Why? Because you start at what, guys? 10% and then 15, 20, 25, etc. Okay. Now, how much do college students make at regular jobs? I mean, somebody get the calculator up. $8, $8.50, $9. Somebody usually says minimum wage, 7 something. Okay. Let's just say $8.50. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take 1,022 and I want you to divide it by $8.50, 8.5. How many hours would you have to work at a regular job to make $1,022 in a week? 120 hours. at a regular job. You could do that. There's 168 hours in a week. So you could work 120 hours. So what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is you can work 120 hours a week at a regular job and make the same amount of money that you could if you complete 20 appointments a week, every week, for the next 12 weeks. 120 hours a week. And they always laugh. They're like, oh, that's crazy. Now, you might be like, oh, Larry, that's so awesome, but I can't do that. I got 2 summer classes. Okay. Could you do 10 appointments a week? Now, you might be like, well, Larry, then you sell half and you make half that. I'd still make $6,000. No, you wouldn't. You'd make a lot less than $6,000 because a lot of this income is at the higher commission levels. But you'd probably still make some decent part-time money. Let's just figure it out. Let's see. So 10 appointments a week would be how many sales? Which would be times 250, which is how much? 1,500 sales over the next 12 weeks. What's 1,500 times 12 weeks? 18,000. Do you know how much income that would be? That would equal exactly $4,400 in income. Part-time, you'd still make $4,400 in income this summer. That's not bad, is it? What do you guys think? Is that pretty good part-time money? Let's divide that by 12 weeks. How much is that per week? $366 a week. Part-time. Part-time. How many hours a week would you have to work at the MIC job? At the MIC job at $8.50 an hour, how many hours a week would you have to work there to make that? 43 hours per week. What you can make by completing 10 appointments a week here. That wake some of you up this morning? Yes? No? You guys starting to wake up a little bit? Yeah? Okay. All right, now, I said today's May 20th, right? Here's what I want you to write in your notes. May 20th. That means this coming Monday is May 22nd. That means your first check will be May 29th, right? First check. By the way, that's Memorial Day, so it's probably going to be May 30th. Because it's Memorial Day, because your first check's mailed to you. Right, first check, and here's what I want you to write. Small check. Why is your first check going to be a smaller check in almost every case? Yeah, it's only really a day and a half, 2 days, right? Because you're going to turn in your orders at advanced training on Monday morning. So it's only a day and a half, 2 days worth of work, not a whole week. But see, guys, we would rather you get your first check after only a week with us rather than, most jobs make you wait 2 or 3 weeks. So even though it's only for a day or 2 of demo. Plus you're at 10% starting out, right? 15%. So your first check's going to be small, okay? Now, go ahead and write this down. All right? 30th will be Tuesday, 31st, May 31st, Wednesday. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Write down June 5th. By the way, if you're on direct deposit, it might be available to you like that Friday or Saturday. But let's just say Monday, June 5th. Write down second check. Write first full check. Okay? So this coming Monday, guys, what we're going to do this Monday is we'll have you turn in all your orders at advanced training. If someone made more on base pay than commission, we'll figure that out, but make sure you get your base pay. Your first check will be that following Monday or Tuesday since it's Memorial Day. Your next check will then be on June 5th. If you're on direct deposit, it may be available to you on Friday or Saturday. Okay? That's your first full check. And then June 12th would be your third check, etc., etc. Does everybody already have that? Okay. Okay, guys, let's transition now. Has everybody got that when your first checks are? Okay, let's go to how many of you, by show of hands, still have openings to hit your goal? You didn't quite get your goal last night. Raise your hand. Okay, several of you. How many of you had people, right? Friday night, how many of you had people you didn't reach last night? Everybody? Okay. All right. Okay, let's go to page 24 in your white books, or 25 or 27 or whatever page it is. All right. Okay, guys, look at your phone approach. Okay, remember the key is the urgency phrase. I need blank appointments by when? Wednesday, exactly. Also, what's really important is you don't pause right there. So don't say I need blank appointments by Wednesday. No, it should be like this. Hey, I need 13 appointments by this Wednesday, so can I swing by real quick at this time? Or would this time be better? Or it should sound like this. I need 13 appointments by Wednesday, so can I swing by real quick? Let's see. Ms. Jones, I have an opening tonight at 7, or can I see you tomorrow at 2? Which would be better for you? Don't pause, go right into offering 2 times. That's really key, all right? And then, guys, the other key is once you get these appointments set up, right, casually off this time, or would this time be better? Then the other key is firm up your appointments. Read that next paragraph, even though it seems like overkill. Trust me, you'll thank me later that you did that. All right. Well, right now, guys, we have some time set aside to help you make money. Now, we don't have a lot of time, so we got to be quick. Okay, I'm going to spread you out. We're going to start jamming. All right, I'm going to give away tickets. Every demo you get set up. We're not going to give away much, but just a little fun stuff. Remember yesterday I said that I'd give you tickets? Right, I didn't give you the tickets yesterday, but you accumulated them for each appointment you set up. Well, today, for total number you have set up, we're going to give you tickets, and we'll have a little drawing for a couple little fun things, all right? Hey, by the way, guys, even if you only set up 1 or 2 more. Now, some of you might set up 5, 6, 7 demos. But even if you only set up 1 or 2 more, you've automatically increased your income. All right? Also, guys, hey, I realize it's only 9:45 or 10 o'clock this morning. Realize we're not calling your friends who are probably in their second REM cycle of sleep. We're calling your friends' parents who have probably been up 2 hours, 3 hours. Most older people have been up a couple hours by now. All right? Hey, guys, let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 9 people here. Hey, let's see if we can set a goal of getting about 3 per person. That's 27 demos. All right? Let's see if we can get 20. Let's just say 20, 27. Let's say 30. You guys are achievers. Let's say we get 30. I'm going to write 30 on the board. Let me know every time you get one. I'll erase it, and we'll do a countdown to 1. Let's see if we can get 30 demos set up right now. All right? By the way, I've seen people get more this morning than you got last night. I've seen people get 5, 6, 7, 8 appointments set up this morning. All right? All right. We'll give away a couple dollar bills, a little legal pad, and I also have a vector pen to give away. All right, guys, you ready? Laura, I need you to go over here. Stephanie, right here. Corey, go back there to that table. Rebecca, right there is good. Harris, right up here. Spread them out. Let's go. Everybody got your phone? If you need a phone, let me know. Let's go. Hey, I don't want to see you walking around or looking up. Make sure you're following the approach, guys. That's really key. Just read the approach. You guys saw how that works last night, right? How easy it is? All right, let's go. All right, so you go into phone jam. All right? All right, let's get a quick TO. Any questions, comments on this?
I have a question about doing packets.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have AM just make you have your reps make their own packets? You want somebody to make them beforehand?
We're talking about packets.
They're day 3. They're kits. They're day 3 kits.
Yeah. Oh, I always have them roll it up themselves, so they know exactly how to roll it up. Takes 5 minutes, but I like them to, have confidence in that. See, guys, what you have to understand, human nature, is this. Let's say, as crazy as it sounds to you, somebody doesn't know what order and how to roll up a kit, or they're not totally comfortable. Guess what they're going to want to do less of? Appointments. Let's say somebody's not comfortable writing up an order form. They're going to want to do less appointments. So it's not a big deal, but I like to teach them how, and I walk them through it. Okay, what's the first thing we show? Super shears. Okay, let's set that aside. Let's spread out your right cloth. Let's fold it over like this. Okay. When you get here, you got the petite carver, right? Let's put it on the far left. Or let's set it aside even, whatever. Okay, when you get to this page, you got the pairing act. Let's put it here. Let's go, I show them exactly, I flip to the names and uses. What's for, I'm showing them how to do it. All right. Any other questions, comments on this? Okay, next thing we're going to do is then finish the phone jam, do the drawing, and we're gonna basically either have them fill out PDI sheets, or we're gonna get all their demo times for web PDI. So we get all that done. I remind them right there. I might highlight that to only never call before you go over. I like to highlight, or I'd highlight that if I were you, or remind them of that. I also say, hey, if they call you to cancel or reschedule, let them know, oh, you got to cancel, be disappointed, and then grab your schedule and offer them some times to reschedule right there on the spot. All right, that's better so you don't have to call them back and reschedule. All right, pretty simple. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do closing dropping down. Now, if you look, that's going to start around 10:45, and that's going to go for an hour and a half. Review keys to page 9, word for word. It says build up company. That should say competition. So build up competition. Then I'm going to walk through pages 9 through 12. All right. Then I'm going to promote who buys Ultimates. They don't have to be rich. Who knows someone who's not rich, but they own like a big flat screen TV? Everybody, because they love TV or sports or movies or whatever. So they don't have to be rich, all right? Then I might say, who do you think would buy complete sets, the ultimate set? And usually, if I lead into it like that, they say somebody likes to cook, or exactly, people who love to cook buy complete sets. Not always, but sometimes. You know who else sometimes buy complete sets? People who love to entertain and party and have people over. Okay, cool. You know who else buys complete sets? Does anyone in here know someone who likes to have the best of stuff? Who knows someone in here who likes to have the best of stuff? Right? Like they don't always go shopping, they don't always do that, but when they buy something, it's quality. That's another person that buys complete sets. All right? Now, invariably, guys, at this point, somebody's going to say, how much is the complete set? How much is it? And that's okay. All right? So ask me how much it is.
How much is it?
This complete set? I mean, look how many items. It's like, what, 3 times the size of a homemaker? Plus you get 12 table knives, plus that solid white oak block is like a piece of furniture, plus you get the shears. All right, most people expect it to be at least $5,000. At least $5,000. It's not quite $5,000 now. It's only $2,259 or whatever it is. All right, how much is it? $2,254. Okay. Charge me $5 for it. But you got the idea. In other words, I want them when they hear only $2,254, they're like, "Oh, okay." By the way, a few of you are taking notes. That's smart because it's not in there. All right. Part of it is, but you got the idea, like the reaction and the, and reviewing the picture and reviewing the number of knives and how big it is and all that stuff. All right? All right, so that's good. Then what we do is we go and I teach page 13. Next page, guys, I would highlight that, I would circle that, and I'd say, okay, what do you mean you teach page 13? Okay, first of all, on starter sets, guys, I review how much it is over 5 months. Let's say it's $90 a month over 5 months on this first starter set. $90. I'm like, okay. So it's $90 a month. Do you guys realize that's about $22 a week? By the way, if they have 2 or 3 children and they ordered some pizzas and maybe a couple 2 liters, how much do you think it cost? Oh, $20, $25? Yeah. So what I'm talking about is out of a weekly budget, if they both work, husband and wife, $90 a month is $22 a week or $11 each. If the husband and wife both work, could they save $11, a $10 bill and a $1 bill? Could they save that out of their whole weekly paycheck? Okay. So who can afford starter sets? Who? Everyone. If you really wanted a starter set, you'd probably find a way to afford it, because I guarantee you've spent $90 on stuff before. Okay. Now, before I teach you page 13, here's what I want you to understand. It's not if they can't afford it, it's if they want to. Here's the other thing I want you to realize. Not now means never. If somebody's like, hey, I'm going to buy it next month, I'm going to buy it on my next paycheck, I'm going to buy it in a few months, here's what I want you to understand. They may mean that to you when they say it, they may be genuine. I'm going to buy it in a couple months. They may be genuine when they say that. Okay? So they're genuine when they say that. Here's what I want you to understand though. Is that a couple months goes by and they're going to forget all about the double D edge, how comfortable the handle is, all the details of the guarantee, the material it's made of, etc. What they're going to remember is not even the exact price. They're just going to remember it's a lot of money. And they're not going to buy it 9 out of 10 times. Or 95 out of 100 times. So not now means what? I'm sorry?
No.
Okay, one of you got it? Not now means what?
Never.
Never. Okay. Here's the other thing I want you to understand. As you drop down, your enthusiasm must go up. See, if you're all excited about the homemaker, and hey, you want the homemaker, and you think you're going to sell a homemaker, and you're all excited, you get in the homemaker, and they're like, no. And you're like, okay, how about the galleys? No. Starter sets? No. How about a few pieces? No, you want a knife? No, I didn't think so. So what happens is, guys, you have to remain excited for the customer, even if they just get a few pieces or items. That's okay. So let's go over page 13. I'm going to teach you how to customize, and then we're going to teach you the manager special, and even if you get down to one knife. And then I walk through and teach them how to do page 13. I cover why call the office. And here's the example I give on customizing. I say, okay, let's go over some popular knives. What do you think are going to be some of the customers' favorites? Trimmer, paring knife, good. What else?
Spatula.
Spatula spreader, petite carver, petite chef, and the spatula spreader. Okay, let's just go with these 5. Okay? Maybe the super shears too? Everybody loves the shears, don't they? All right, let's go with the super shears. Now, if a customer asks you how much this stuff is, you have 2 choices. You can add it all up and tell them, or you can call the office. Let me cover with you what will happen in each of those scenarios. Scenario A, I'm going to add it up. How much is this stuff? Let's see here. That's about $450. You want to go ahead and get it? Guess what they're going to say about 9 out of 10 times? No. Or you could do this. Ask me how much it is. You know what? I'm really new. Let me see. Let me see if I can figure this out. And I tell you what, I'm going to try to work you the best deal possible. Go ahead and look through my gifts and accessories back here for just a minute. Hold on one sec. And then you go ahead and call the office. Now, here's what's going to happen when you call. You'll call and you'll say, hey, I'm with Mrs. Jones. She's really nice. She's my best friend's mom. Tell us how nice she is. And then we're going to say, what does she like? And we'll always ask you what she likes best. Now, Chris, if we ask you what she likes best and you don't know, just ask them. Say, hey, what's your favorite out of all these? No big deal. Okay? So we'll always ask you that. Let's assume in this case, she really loved those super shears. Okay? So here's what I would say. If you call me up, I'd say, okay, here's what I want you to write down. I want you to write down trimmer, write down paring knife, petite carver, petite chef, spatula spreader, and then write down super shears. And beside the word super shears, I want you to write free real big. And then beside that, I want you to write $100 value. Now underneath that, I want you to write the word only. And then you're going to write down $350. And then to the right of that, you're going to write the word about. and you're going to write down 70/month. And then below that or above that, you're going to write, let's see here, what is that? 16. Is that 17 a week? So below that, above that, you're going to write 17 a week, and you're going to put a box around it. So I'm going to tell you to write all that up, and I'm going to tell you how to walk through it with a customer. And you're going to say, hey, Ms. Jones, we can get you your trimmer, your paring knife, your petite carver, your petite chef, and your spatula spreader. We can also get you those super shears for free that you love, and that's a $100 value for free. And we can do all that for only this much right here. And by the way, when you're with a customer, you can say it's only $350, or you can just point to it and say it's only this much right here. It's about $70 a month over 5 months. We'd probably have you write down 5 months in parentheses. It's only $70 a month over 5 months with no interest. That's only $17 out of a whole week's budget. How's that sound, Ms. Jones? You want to go ahead and do that, get your super shears free? And guess what they're going to say most of the time? Sure. That's why you call the office. So I do, quick TO guys, I do some type of an example like that. Personally, what I like to do is I like to do an example that's about $350. So I shouldn't have added the shears in there. I like to do an example that's about $350. Still give them about $100 free or close to it. So it'd be like $250, and then I can show them how it's only like $85 a month over 3 months. And then when I do this example, I have them write the word down right here. Then right here, I'd have them write the word mid-April. And by the way, when I do this for my training group guys, what I like to do is have them write it out. I say, guys, I want you to copy what I write on the board exactly. So I have them do it, then I walk through and explain it like they would to a customer. Okay? Questions, comments on that? Yeah.
In a branch office, how often, or like how much time would we have to answer calls?
After the first weekend, not much at all. First weekend, though, you'll be able to do that.
So this
Seems
is
to
one of
stress.
the hammer home that they should call.
Exactly.
Try it on the
You
city.
got it. Over the plate? It's going to be tough. I got it, though. Maybe not.
From my landing, it's all good. We'll clean that ledge off.
All right.
I can't sit beside it.
So you guys got the idea? Yes or yes? You got the idea how to do it?
C. Yes or C.
Okay. I might start saying that. I like that. You guys got the idea? C or yes?
Do it.
I like it. All right. This is a little more in depth, Corey, than what you remember from last year. All right. Then, guys, I walk through the manager special. I build that up like crazy. And then I even flip back to the studio. And I'm like, guys, the studio is awesome. I mean, you get the solid oak block, you get the cutting board, you get the super shears for free with it, or maybe a Fisherman solution. But if money is the deal, all right, this isn't quite as nice, but if money's the problem, guys, this is how they can get a studio set worth of knives for about half the price. That's how you build up the manager special. For about half the price, they can get a studio for just under a couple $100. And then I have them write in, like, if it was May 20th, I'd have them write in late June, late July, whatever. And then I go off on selling one knife. Talk about the stairs, going down real slow, holding the rail. And then I have them role play dropping all the way down from page 9 to a manager special 2, 3, 4 times each. And that's where I will correct them and place their blue book the way it should be and make sure that it's facing the client. And if they're not following their white book, I'll say, hey, you just want to follow it like this. Let me show you. And I'll do a few sentences for them, to show them how and all that. So see, guys, that's the other thing is as a DM or a BM, you got to be walking around the room during this time. On day 3, you got to make sure they got it at least somewhat right. They're getting ready to go out in front of a client. I think you need to be walking around the room anytime you're role playing. But usually you don't correct too much. On day 3, I'll correct a little bit in a nice way. I don't even say anything to them. Sometimes they'll have the blue book facing them. I'll just walk by and I'll just kind of turn and slide the blue book facing the client. I'll just keep going. They're like, oh, I got no problem. No big deal. Right? They'll be like, oh, you're good. So it's no big deal. All right? All right. Then we got recommendations. You want to promote the value of building up a couple hundred recommendations. You want to say, hey, at the end of the presentation, let's think about this. Of course they're going to like the product, right? Of course they're going to like you. By the way, even if they didn't get anything, don't you think they're going to like the product? This stuff's not in here, so I'd be getting it down. Of course they're going to like the product. Of course, even if they don't buy it, they're going to like it. They're going to be impressed, right? Of course they're going to like you. So let me ask you this. If they really love the product, which they are, that's a no-brainer, and they like you, why would they not give you recommendations? Right? I mean, that's kind of silly, right? Hey, Corey, let me see your pen real quick. All right? Now, Corey, why did you just give me your pen? Because I asked with confidence, right? I already have a pen. I have one right here, and I grabbed it with the same hand that I already had a pen in. And Corey still gave me a pen. Now, you might be like, he's the manager, but I asked with confidence. All right, here you go, bud. I asked with confidence. So when you ask for recommendations, you got to do it with confidence. All right, we're going to walk through it first. And then you walk through the approach. Then you nail it, and you do it for the reps with confidence. I mean, you nail it. So you walk through it, have them fill in the little blanks. I make a couple little tweaks, and then I do it and I nail it. And you got to be able to do it without even really looking. I mean, you can glance down once or twice, but you got to nail it with confidence. Then they role play, guys, 5 or 10 times each. All right? Let me give you a little tip. Have them role play at least 6 times each, where one of them does it 3 times in a row. Then the other one does it 3 times in a row. Then they do it 3 times in a row. Then the other one does it 3 times in a row. They'll retain it a lot better than if you do every other one. Now you might say, why not do that on the closing? That's so long. You know, this you can do it 3 times in literally 6 minutes, 5 minutes, less than that. Probably less than that. All right? By the way, I always set this up. I'm like, guys, I know you don't want to role play right now. I know you don't. I know you're tired of role playing, but you got to take this seriously, guys. This is how you build your business. This is one key. Imagine a couple weeks from now, you should have a couple hundred recommendations. Oh, by the way, you're watching as they're role playing, and if it's not word for word, you stop them. Whoa. Oh, you said if. Is if in there? No, if's not in there. Oh, by the way, when a note you might want to take where it says review the approach with them and then do it for them. Before I do it for them, when I review the approach, I make a big deal out of the bullet that says what I really need you to, I haven't write in the word really, but what I need you to do is write down, while I'm writing up the order and cleaning up, is jot down 10 to 15 people. I don't do a couple hundred guys in training. You might teach a couple hundred. I think that's too much in day 3. I want them to just learn the approach. Plus, half the time reps do that. It doesn't come across the right way anyway. You know what I'm saying? I need you 400 people. Oh, just kidding. All right. Now, if you can do it the right way, like you guys should all be able to do it and pull it off, right? New reps, no. So I just get them to do it the right way, but I make a big deal and I say, look, and by the way, guys, I hope this doesn't happen to anybody in here, but I'm just going to tell you, if anyone is ever struggling with recommendations, I would just say, hey, no problem at all. We can help you fix it. Ask me for recommendations, how you're doing it for your customers. And without fail, I've never had anybody nail the approach and still struggle with recommendations. And by the way, 90-some% of the time, you know what the problem is? This bullet right here. It says, what I really need you to do while I'm writing up the order and cleaning up is jot down 10 to 15 people who might be nice enough to help me out. I haven't write that, underline that, who might be nice enough to help me out. 90-some% of the time, you know what they say there? What I'd kind of like you to do if you could. No, you got to have confidence when you ask that. So you want to make sure you nail that bullet right there especially. All right. I don't teach qualifying or the heads up or any of that stuff or the lead-in questions till AT. If you have time, you could teach qualifying. Again, I don't think they're going to actually qualify. I just hope they actually ask the right way. But if you want to teach qualifying, you could. You might make a note at the bottom. It says don't do it. If you have time and you want to teach qualifying, fine. But the main thing is not if it sacrifices any role play. By the way, I want them to role play literally. I would like them to role play 9 times each. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Because if they role play 9 times, guess what? They got it. They're going to have it memorized. All right? All right. Any questions over anything up to this point? All right. Let's take 5-10 minute break. Okay? Take a quick break.
The end?
If you are, is that-
No, no, right there.